Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, wherever you are tuning in from. This is the BS Buddies podcast. I'm your host, Joe. That is your host, Ian. And today, we're going to be taking some mundane, everyday things, and we're going to make it a pro sport. For some reason. So hit subscribe. It's easier than becoming pro in probably half of the things, at least.
It's easier than becoming a pro in lawn mower drag racing.
Which we will get to momentarily. But if you're new, subscribe. We post 2 full episodes a week and a short every day. Ian, would you like to start us off wherever you want to
go? Sure. I was going to make a pretty harsh cutting joke about the ratings that our pro sports shows would get, but I think maybe I'll save that one for the tail end, and you can decide if you want to edit that in somewhere or not.
I mean, we could do what we think the highest rating and the lowest rating one would be.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Or the comments can figure that out as well. Anyways, what's your first one?
Well, the first thing that I came up with in my mundane things to turn into sports, and this was one that just popped into my head immediately the second you mentioned this topic to me, and I don't know why, but shopping cart racing in the grocery store.
Okay. I know they have shows on that, but I don't think it's like professional.
It's not like a professional sport. And like I said, this is where like my sort of, like how I told you, I don't know if I fully understood the assignment, because some of these, as I imagine them in my mind, sound a lot more like something you'd watch on a Japanese game show than an actual. I think
I know what you're talking about. Like the Red Bull, like downhill.
Or like the one where it's like all the dudes are like covered in bodysuits, and apparently they've got like a bunch of Diddy's baby oil, and they just like the stairs and everything are covered, and the guys are trying to like climb to the top, and they like slip and slide to the bottom, and you're just going, what is happening? You know what I mean? But it's, you know what I mean?
Hey, we're starting off hot button topics. Mentioned Diddy within the first 3 minutes. So we're on a roll.
Got to stay relevant. We got to stay on these things. Diddy was like last week, man.
Diddy was on those things, but
Diddy was on those things. You think Diddy ever raced a shopping cart? Probably to get all that baby oil at Costco. Anyways, I have grocery shopping race written down here, and so now instead of saying shopping cart, I want to say grocery shopping, like that's a physical object that you would handle in the real world and not something an insane person would make up shortly before they put the straitjacket on him. Anyways, essentially how this works is they would like line you up. And it's goofy because in my head, I'm picturing this like Kentucky Derby, like it's an oval, but instead of like lanes with gates, everybody has an aisle, and there's just like single items are lined down these aisles.
Okay.
And before the race starts, you get a list of the items that you need, and the light turns green, the gate says go, and you've got to race down this aisle and look for your item and grab it and throw it into the cart and get to the end first. And we'll say it's like 5 items. And
okay. So it's like NASCAR, but you can't like see what they're doing if you're in the stands because the aisles are blocking them. So it's got to be like a drone show.
Yeah, kind of. Like it's okay. We won't say like the aisles aren't like super tall. Like they're just tall enough that the contestants themselves can't see where the others are at, but it's still short enough that we'll say like.
Is there a height limit? Like, I mean, if we're bringing up horse jockeys, there is a height limit on them.
There's no height limit, but if you're taller than the shelves, you have to wear blinders like the horses do. You got to wear blinders like the horses do, and if you look too far one way or the other, I don't know, they shock you with a cattle prod or something.
For all the short kings, this is a sport for you. If you're
This
short
is
and
the score.
fast. That way you don't have
Short
to wear
king.
blinders.
Our short king prevail on this one. They are our true champions of the grocery shopping aisle until it comes to getting something off the top shelf.
Is there anything else to your racing?
Unless you've got some wonderful additions you'd like to make to this
I'm
grocery shopping race, which, by the way, to our viewers out there, sorry I didn't mention this right from the get-go, but we kind of jumped into it. If you're noticing that I don't have no fancy background going on, it's because my camera decided that, or Discord decided that it just didn't want to cooperate. So congratulations, you get to see a fuzzy back image of my basement. Just putting that out there.
If you've made it this far, you are the lucky ones for him to point that out.
You are the chosen few.
So, I don't really have anything to add, but I got my first one. Because when I thought mundane, I thought very mundane. Like, what would I do on a daily basis that would make a stupid pro sport? And the first one I thought of was pro dishwashing.
God dang it,
I
that's the
knew we
second
would
one on
have
my
some.
list.
I knew we would have some. I don't know exactly how I would want to set it up, but there's definitely got to be food that's been like caked on for like 3 days that they got to figure out how to get off easy.
This
Like-
toddler had chili in this bowl 3 days ago. Oh my god.
We've
It's like
had
Law and
a
Order levels of
high school cafeteria chili, and we didn't
Oh.
wash the trays for a week.
You've heard of the saying thick as pea soup, right? You're gonna wish you hadn't. Just oh
And then
man.
maybe it's like one of those, almost like one of those competitive cooking shows where they each have their own station and they just got to go as fast as they can, and then they get rated on the cleanliness.
See, that's
What was
fair.
your idea?
That's fair. No, it's very good. And my idea pretty much tracks as far as yours goes right now. But
Until
I just until load bearing until mine. I don't know why. I'm going to put this out there now. I don't know why this thought entered my brain when I was brainstorming this, but I just decided to roll with it. So the name of mine is called Dishwash Toss. That's a tongue twister for you. Say that one 3 times fast. Dishwash Toss, where essentially, yeah, you got to take dishes, they got to clean them, they got to get them to like a certain level of cleanliness that passes, I don't know, some sort of inspection. Maybe they'll have like a light or something there, like a ultraviolet
Ooh,
detects
good idea.
specks of food or something. If your dish is then claimed as clean, then it turns into like an axe throwing competition where you then have to huck it at a target that's like 20 feet away and there's a bullseye and you have to score points based on how much the dish shatters and where you hit it on the target.
Sorry, continue. I got an idea after.
Someone put axe throwing in my brain like a day or 2 ago, and it's just been like sitting back there. So then when I thought of dishwash, my brain went toss rhymes with wash, and I was like, ooh, dishwash toss, throw dishes, break. Ooh, I could turn that into a sport. It was like monkey brain came out and was like break things, and I rolled with it. I went with it.
What if instead, which isn't as fun, but you have to throw it like a frisbee into these like packing peanut totes or something to that extent. And you can't, I mean, obviously some are going to miss, but you want to have as many non-broken plates and you get extra points for doing that.
Oh, yeah, you could have like boxes at varying lengths. Ooh, I like that. That's good. Dishwash putt-putt. It's like mini golf. You gotta get it in the
Disc
box.
golf, but with fine china.
Dish golf. Dish golf. Does that work? Dish. I can't.
We'll make it
I'm
work.
gonna hurt my head if I keep trying. Disc golf. Dish golf. Oh
Move on,
God,
move on, move on,
the
please.
tongue twisters are strong today. Um, that one's kind of boring. Mailbox sprints. I'm gonna skip that one down. That one's kind of boring. I don't.
Well, the last one I have is really boring. Don't worry.
The,
It can't
I'm
get
gonna
more boring than mine.
mailbox sprints was one of my throwaway ideas, quite literally.
Like for
Except
mailmen?
it's not. No, but that is so much better. I like your line of thinking way more. I was thinking like you have a whole bunch of people and they have to, sprint to get to their mailbox or whatever, but it's not actually sprinting. They're doing that stupid power walk thing where you like waddle side to side and you have to like go get a paper and then like turn around and walk it back. You know what? We'll say you have to walk it back to a mailman and you pass it off like a baton. And then they have to do this stupid little walk. But they have to
There's
do
the
like one
4x4, which is the 4-block race. 4 people, 4 blocks.
Exactly. Perfect. I'm glad we were in sync on that one. All right, I'm going to give that one a pass then. I was going to write that one off, but I like that one. Mailbox sprints. Do you have any other ideas that you could add to that one to make it interesting?
Do we want to add dogs?
Dogs. Just halfway through the race, you hear the announcers, "Release the hounds." No.
For our sprinting event, we have dogs.
One unfortunate soul has a treat tucked in his newspaper, and he has to try and outrun the dog or deliver the paper before the dog catches him and gets the treat. Of course, it also depends on the dog having a very good nose.
Yeah.
But I think it's possible. I think it's doable.
So, I'm guessing we don't really have anything else.
That's all I got for that one. Like I said, that one was going to be one of my throwaways.
For me, this would be interesting, but super boring to watch. This isn't even my most boring one. Professional book writing.
Professional book writing, huh?
So, in my mind, there's just authors that are in cubicles, and they have to write the best story within an allotted time. Okay. And you get points for like length, and then points for like character development and like story.
Are they actually writing, or do they get to type?
I'd say type, but like the organization would have specialized computers to where you can't use like OpenAI and other things.
I was going to say I'd make them write, man. There ain't no better cure for a hand cramp than pushing through it to get that 1,000-word story out on the floor. Plus, can you imagine the stamina you'd have to sit there and freaking...
We'll have 1,000 bananas on hand.
Non-stop, just... I'm actually messing up the inside.
Oh, I could hear it.
For this joke too. So I hope you guys appreciate this. All right, I'm done with that joke. The bit's over. I just had to get it a few more marks. I already screwed up the page. I just wanted to make it count.
Everyone gets 3 bananas to prevent cramps.
You get 3 bananas. You may eat them whenever you choose. Use that decision wisely. Right before the test goes, you just see some dude peel and shove all 3 right in his mouth.
Then you hear just people yelling at random times because they're frustrated, and then they accidentally squash one of their bananas.
No. One random dude in a cubicle in the back does that comical thing where he flips upside down 6 feet in the air because he accidentally stepped on it. And he just, whee! And away he went. Disqualified.
I thought you were talking about like he was just gonna do her in a backflip.
Fuck this. Backflips on his chair right there in the cubicle. Oh my god, did you see that man's backflip? Yeah. Why the hell is he in a writing competition? I don't know. Bro, you should go be on American Ninja Warrior. I already won. That's why I'm here. Just
I
great.
needed something tougher.
I'm giving our participants backstories. I'm in too deep.
Oh, it's your turn.
Oh shit, it is my turn. That's right. You know what? I'm gonna skip down two, and I'm gonna go to a simple one, but one that I think would be. And I'm probably pretty sure that this does exist somewhere within the cooking universe of insane TV that's out there.
Okay, you didn't steal any of mine.
Highest. Excuse me while I go through puberty for a second. Highest omelet
Voice.
flip. Highest voice. Highest.
I want you to know Discord didn't even catch that.
I know. That's
Highest
how good
omelet
I am.
flip. Omelet flip.
Highest omelet flip. Or pancake. You know, we can vary it up. We could change it up. But essentially, yeah, it's literally. And I hate myself because the first thing I thought of was those stupid vaping competitions where they have two people back to back and they're doing that
Biggest cloud.
blowing fat clouds, bro. And it's just like they measure how far. But I imagine like two people back to back with an omelet pan, and they're like, all right, 1, 2, 3, flip, and then they got like a little height chart right there, and they see how high each one goes, and we'll say best 2 out of 3 because there's always the odd chance somebody's handle breaks and the pan goes off into the crowd.
Hits
Filmed in front of a
Jill.
live studio audience,
Hits Jill in the crowd.
Bing. But yeah, I feel like that could be a fun one, and I feel that's on my more normal end.
I feel like it's got to
Mundane.
be like omelets, then the next round is pancakes, and the next round is like grilled cheese.
One of
And
them's
there's a
whole ass
taste test.
pizza. Oh, there gotta be a taste test. There's gotta be a taste test. One of them is you have to make a calzone by flipping a pizza. That's for true experts. You gotta flip the pizza and then catch it and turn it into a calzone.
Yeah, I was thinking like pizza crust tossing as well.
Oh, dude, like the thing where they spin it around on their hand really fast. Dude, that's freaking. I don't know how in the world people do that, much less with an object that is just like essentially Play-Doh. Like it's the same consistency of it's not even it's worse than Play-Doh because Play-Doh at least holds its shape when you form it. It's like flubber, you just turn it into a disc and somehow they got it spinning at 100 miles an hour, man. I don't get it. I'm not.
They got like 4 people. That's the halftime show. Like just 4 people. The Soprano brothers are just flipping pizza dough.
They're like in sync underwater dancers. Like one flips it and he rolls it across all the other shoulders to the guy on the end, and he's like throwing his around, and then the other ones pull like extra dough out of their hats or something, and then they all start spinning them and forming like pyramids and shit. Dude, this would be the coolest halftime show ever.
Just like why did you come to this pro competition? I'm just here for the halftime show.
The ending finale, instead of having confetti pop, they just get doused in pizza sauce. You just on them on the stage,
Oh,
and they get yeah.
yeah.
I got it.
My next one. Granted, this one came from my roommate because I asked him, and the book writing one, but just the title. But we're gonna go into some more detail with this. Professional candle lighting.
Professional candle lighting. Ooh,
Yes.
very interesting.
I when he told me that, I'm like, oh, okay, we'll come up with something, and I did immediately. Imagine there's this big wax sculpture or tower, and there's wicks all over it. And you want to
Like,
light them as fast as you can as you're climbing this, and you get points for every wick you light as you get to the top.
ooh, okay,
I don't know if you want
okay.
to add to it and be like other competitors, like if you all go at the same time, you can blow out each other's candles.
That could be. Ooh. Well, first of all, I'm gonna say that I um got back into watching some anime again recently. So the initial visual that I had in my head was much more horrible than the scene that you're describing to
Which
me. And
one are you thinking?
no, it was because we recently finished watching Jujutsu Kaisen.
I haven't
Um,
watched that. I'm thinking about.
Shout out to my JJK fans. Fantastic show. It's just that the design of some of the monsters in that show is rather grotesque in nature. So when you said giant wax tower with little wicks sticking out of it, my mind went to a weird place, and I'm just not. I just wanted you to be aware that my initial visual in my head was like, where could he possibly be going with this? Okay, so we'll say you're climbing up and you got to light these wicks going on the way. Is there You just bring a flamethrower. Whoosh. Got him. The
Man, our
whole tower's on.
$10,000 wax statue is now melted completely. Thanks a lot, dude.
Ooh, you could make it like a time limit competition. So you could do a thing where they have to light a candle at the beginning that is essentially, we'll say, acts like a timer, like it melts its wax really quickly, and you have to light as many as you can in the time that it takes that one to burn down into nothing. Um,
Yeah, maybe
other
there's a small candle on like a hot plate and they melt. So it's because if
Yeah,
you just
yeah, yeah,
light
yeah,
it,
yeah.
it's not going to go very fast. But like on a hot plate, just a little thing of wax.
You could also add I was just thinking like of a second phase to this competition, or maybe a different style of it is like you see how high, because have you ever seen the thing where you can relight a candle if you light the smoke on fire right after you blow it out?
I don't think I have.
All right, so cool physics thing for you. However, and the smoke from a candle, I don't know how it works, but like when you immediately blow a candle out and it first has that little trail of thick smoke that you can see going off, if you light that little trail of smoke as it floats up, it will race down the smoke and hit the candle and relight it immediately.
I'm
So you
almost
could
tempted to
see.
pause the recording right now to try.
It's weird. I've seen it, but you can do it. It's you kind of got to be careful because you want to blow the candle out, but you don't want so much wind that you blow away all that smoke. You just kind of got to do a quick like, poof, so that way the smoke drifts straight up, and you could try and see how high you could let that smoke get before you relight it, and see how
That's a
quickly or
bonus
how
round.
far. That's the bonus round. That's what happens in the event of a tie in the regular wick lighting competition. That's a good one. That's a good one. Dude did go through so much wax.
Yeah.
It goes through so much wax.
What's your next one, Ian?
Um, I think I'm gonna go with garbage bag shot put. Once again, this is another one of those brainstorm ideas that was just like, sure, why not? Because I always think of those videos of like, when people sling the garbage bag over their back and it comically yanks them backwards as they go. I was like, imagine if you had like something like shot put where people just swung that bag in a circle and you see how far you can fling it out in front of you. And you
That'd
get
be
bonus
fun.
points if you make it in a trash can, and extra bonus points if you make it into the correct one, recycling or refuse.
Brought to you by Hefty.
brought to you by brought to you by Glad Force Flex.
It's a
Not sponsored.
competition against brands.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Who can make the strongest one?
That would actually be something that'd be really cool. And then there has to be like a certain amount of items. Like there's got to be so many cups in the bag, so much paper plates,
Yeah, they
so
gotta be
much
even.
just yeah. Every bag is filled evenly. They just ask Americans, hey, donate your trash bags, and we'll weigh them until we get the ones that are all the same.
That'd be a fun one.
Garbage bags. I don't have much more that I could put to that because I mean, garbage bag shot put. That's pretty self-explanatory.
I
If the bag breaks when you're trying to swing it, you will be allowed to have a retry
just one.
after
One mulligan.
after you, after you go change your clothes. Because I'm sure
No,
it wouldn't be
don't even get to change it.
banana peel hanging on your head. Throw the bag. Can I at least go change? Throw the bag. Just okay, man. I'll throw the bag. If the second one breaks, you just suck. You clearly
Disqualified.
you haven't mastered the technique enough yet.
So I have a few left. I don't know if I want to go super in depth with them. One is dog walking, like just seeing how many dogs you can walk. But I mean, there's pet shows and all that other stuff. Uh, the super boring one. I don't know how you would do this. Paint drying, like watching paint dry.
Quite literally watching paint dry. They count how many times you blink over the course of however long it takes. The trick is that they don't tell you that that's what they're watching for. So
My
you're just sitting in this room going, what am I doing? Well, I'm watching the paint dry.
my
And they're
thought is
counting.
like as soon as you see it dry, like you have to touch the spot, make sure. And like if you're right every single time, you win. If you
You
have no
you
paint on you.
you are okay, so we'll say that you have four walls around you, right, with drying paint. You are allowed to touch each wall exactly twice. So I really had to put some thought into that one. Really got the
Some big
old
emphasis.
really got the old thinking shack attack. I'm just trying to figure out how I would do the competition. You're allowed to touch each wall twice. Once you touch a wall one time to check and see whether or not it's dry, you can only your next touch on that wall has to be a follow-up. So like you can't touch this one and then go over and touch that one and then go over and touch that one. No, you can pick any wall to touch, but once you touch it, you can only touch that wall one more time, and then you're never allowed to touch that wall again until the competition ends. So if you get it wrong and you touch it the first time and you're like, "Oh no, that's still wet," then you have to choose how long to wait to touch the next one. Here's where it gets tricky. We'll say that there are warmers in the other wall. So if you touch the one and you get it wrong, the warmers in the other walls kick on, so that paint all stays wet while you're waiting on this one wall to dry. That way you can't just be like, "Well, I'll just wait here forever until they're all dry."
That's awful.
It is awful. It's very awful, but it's fair. It ensures that you're an honest man. I'm sure there are probably a few other loopholes that our constituents can figure out, but right now I can't think of any, so screw them.
What's your next one?
Well, my boring one was just going to be a competition called Dress to the Nines. I was trying to figure out a way to, like, you had to dress in a suit within like a time limit and then run and go do an activity of some sort. I didn't quite flesh that one out all the way. And I mean, like, you had to be like, you can't just sloppily throw on your grandpa's suit in the closet that's 3 sizes too big and was made in 1958. No, this thing, like, you got to be in a tailor-made shirt, tucked, pressed, cuff, buttoned, bow tie, tight, hair slicked, cheeks clenched, like ready to go. You know what I mean? Like looking like you're about to step out of a Peaky
Like,
Blinders freaking episode or something. Like dressed to the nines, but you had to do it within a time limit, and then you had to go out and do some sort of, I don't know, activity that required formal wear.
I like it.
Like I said, not quite sure where the competition part comes in, but like, yeah, I think I could make something out of that. But that was my boring one. That one's kind of meh. I think. All right. I have 3 left. I will tell you those 3, and then there's a bonus 4th one that I wrote down, but I'm not entirely sure where I was going to go with it. So I'll tell you those 3, and you tell me which one you want to hear.
I got
I have
2 left, and one of them is kind of the same for us. The one
yes.
we hinted at to start.
So we have lawnmower drag races, daily commute wipeout style, or laundry hockey.
Let's knock out the lawnmower,
The lawnmower one,
and
very well, very well.
and then I want to hear a synopsis on both because I'm confused about the daily routine, and I really want to hear about laundry hockey.
Both of them are terrible. Well, the lawnmower drag race, I feel like we can make a collaborative effort out of this. So, my basic idea has literally nothing to do with mowing the lawn and literally just like rednecks modding the shit out of their like 1978 John Deere Rider 3-speed. Like, that's literally the only thing. Like, picture a drag track with nothing different except instead of big drag cars that are like long and narrow and look like a car equivalent of a Borzoi, and it's just lawnmowers, just riding lawnmowers right there.
Like Wreckfest, but
Yes,
on steroids.
exactly.
Your idea was a lot better than mine. Mine was just like cutting lawns professionally.
In patterns, they have to cut them in patterns.
Yeah, pretty much. Or as
I'll have to
fast as
send you.
possible.
I'll have to send you the video. My inspiration for this is purely from this old like 360p YouTube video of a dude who I think he dropped like, I don't even remember what it was. It was like a 450 something Chevy big block or like a something V8 engine. He put this massive engine into a riding lawnmower, and he like it's ridiculous because he straight piped all the cylinders just like right there, like the block head is sticking out each side of the engine bay, and he just has these like 1.5 2 foot long exhaust pipes coming right out from the head brackets. And so he gets on the highway and cranks the throttle, and this thing is just at 100, just flying down this highway. And I'm sitting there going, this is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. This is what all of human ingenuity has led to this point. This man is winning. Get him some Freebird and a beer, and when we've done it, we won. That's it, everybody. Pack your stuff. Go home. The universe don't need no more. I'll find that video and I'll send it to you because it brings me joy every time.
Yeah, that's way more in depth than mine. I'll say my last one. This is from my fiance. And at first, I'm like, this is a really weird one. And I'm like, a lot of my friends would probably watch it.
A lot of my
Um,
friends probably watch it.
this one I called Guiding the Elderly. And nursing homes.
Oh
The way
no.
Debbie put it is like you're guiding them to like meals, but you could do it like guiding them to like bingo, and you have to get them there the fastest than other people, and trying to get them settled in for like their meal faster than anyone can.
Onlookers can throw in distractions. Be like, Merle from 2B, go get her. And it's just, hey there, Sandra. Did you catch the game on Tuesday? Oh, hi, Merle. How's it going? Oh my God, we don't have time for this.
But
Go.
but they can't be rude. They cannot physically move them like hard, like they can like have them take their arm and be guided, but they cannot like be mean or force them. So
You
it's
just
like
gotta let them take their own time. That's fair.
you're supposed to get them there, egg them along, but not be a dick about it.
Oh, no. I just thought of something terrible.
Oh no.
Man, this is taking too long. We got to get some NOS in Grandma's system and pull a Red Bull out of your back pocket. Here, Grandma, drink this. This will really put the pep in your step.
Grandma's ticker might not be ticking too much after that.
Grandma's ticker is burning up all her remaining seconds left in overdrive. It's the only sport where you see wheelchair school. I want to talk to Harry. Shut it, lady. We're going to get you to dinner. It's like it's like the caretaker from Happy Gilmore. Please tell me you've at least seen Happy Gilmore.
I have seen it once.
Do you remember Ben Stiller as the caretaker for his grandma? Excuse me, young man. Can I trouble you for water? Hey, zip it. You're in my house now. It means you're going to play by my rules.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, man.
That's all I got.
Alrighty. Well, I've got 2 remainders and a third bonus one that like I said, the bonus one is I put no thought at all into it, but I feel like you'll want to hear the name. I have daily commute, wipeout style, which was literally I was just thinking, oh, what's a mundane thing people do? Oh, they drive to work. What if on your drive to work you had to avoid obstacles like the show Wipeout? You're driving
Big
on
balls in your Honda Civic.
yeah. No, not even that. Not even that. You're given a smart car and you gotta start on one end.
Tesla self-driving vehicles.
You gotta start on one end of a ramp and you're like making your way down and they're like shooting these big rubber balls at you and then you gotta drive around obstacles. You gotta try and make it from beginning to end lest you get hit and fall off and land in the water. Don't worry, you don't have to wear a seatbelt unless you want to. They'll give you a window breaker, one of those little things that you smack against the window and it, skadoosh.
I'd love to hear about laundry hockey. That seems like it can't get me drowned, right?
You don't like my DOT violation of a sports suggestion.
You don't have
All
to
right.
wear your seatbelt. Actually, it'll probably help you from drowning.
So laundry hockey was literally just my idea of a hockey team on a rink. Everything is pretty much the same except the nets are washing machines. And they take a piece of clothing at a time. So we'll say there's we'll do 3-man teams. I feel like 3-man teams would be more appropriate for this. You have one goalie and 2 dudes skating around. 3-man team.
You'll have to have a shorter rink though, because
Yeah,
that's a long ways for 2 guys to go.
Getting that cardio in, my man. and they put there is a laundry basket on either end, right? So like you have, let's get a diagram of this. We're gonna bust out the diagram, right? So you've got Team A on one side, and you've got Team B on the other side, and there will be a laundry basket full of dirty laundry on each side, and that is their laundry basket, right? So we've got Team A has got their laundry basket. Oh my God, that's so fuzzy. There we go. Team A has got their laundry basket there, and Team B has got their laundry basket over here. And, there's just random articles of clothing in there. And your objective is you have to skate back, pick up one single piece of clothing with your stick, and then skate across to the other side and try and score on the goalie by flinging the laundry into the washing machine.
Once a goal, like if a goalie gets a save, do they put it in their laundry basket so then you can rack up opponents'
Ooh,
points?
that could be good. Otherwise I was thinking more along the lines of just goalie gets a save and he's got one of those little like suction tubes right above his head, and he shoves it in the suction tube and it just boom, fires it out into the stands. And it's considered on the floor or lost to the abyss. So now you just can't get that one back.
Stuck in between the dryer.
Yeah, just boom, gone, banished to the realm of stuck in the dryer or lost in the dryer. Boom. Achievement unlocked. Clog the dryer vent. Just
What's your bonus one? Unless you got more for that one.
And I do not. And my bonus one, like I said, I don't know where I was going with this because this was supposed to be a professional sports, but I guess you could consider, critical thinking in some certain sports. Clue Tax Fraud Edition.
What?
I literally don't know. I
came up with this idea, but I have no idea what the idea is about.
I'm telling you, I was in the process of thinking of some of these, and I was going along the lines of like, okay, what if we had something like maybe like chess, like a thinking game. Ooh, what if we had something like Clue, where you got to figure something out, and then I don't know if I was listening to something or I heard a joke, but something was talking about tax fraud. And I was like, Clue Tax Fraud Edition. You are the IRS agent, and you got to figure out who in the room didn't pay their taxes. And the guy who didn't pay his taxes, his objective is to escape your grasp. The surprise ending is none of them paid their taxes. That's why I said this was my bonus. This was my if all else fails, I'll try and come up with something for this. But I just wanted to put that out there because I can't tell you how jarring it was to just be thinking and then have Clue Tax Fraud Edition pop into the front of my head from way out in left field. And I'm like, where did that
some
even
bonus
come
one.
Like I said, our viewers out there, I think, can come up with some good rules for Clue Tax Fraud Edition. There's some clever cats out there. They can figure it out.
I doubt either one of us came up with a quote in the episode, so we'll probably.
I actually have.
Unless you got one.
Quotes pulled up.
I didn't.
Well, I've got a good one here for you, if you'd like one. I've got a whole page of them actually. It's all laid out before me.
I'm trying to see if I have a random quote just lying around my desk somewhere.
Mine says that it is an Italian proverb. Because if not spaghetti, those Italians are sure known for their proverbs. It is not enough to aim. You must hit. I mean, yeah. Not enough to aim. Fair. You also got to hit the target. Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Debbie gave me this bookmark that says so many books, so little time. So I'll go with that.
That's a good one. That's a classic.
And then I got to put my name on it and write 10 books.
All right. What happens when you 10 books and you're not allowed to use that thing anymore? If you read an 11th book with it, it just bursts into flames and disappears.
It magically caught on fire.
Yes, your officer, that is how the house burnt down. I'm gonna need you to come down to the station with me, son.
But that's the end of the episode. If you have any other ideas if you have any mundane things you want to turn into professional sports, leave them down below. Or if you have any other ideas that you want us to discuss or come up with, we'd be happy to hear that. Thank you guys for BSing with us today, and subscribe to become a bud today. Again, subscribing is easier than probably any of these pro sports, especially daily commute wipeout.
I don't know, man. I've got my money hedged on that one.
And we'll see you next time after we see the halftime show of the Soprano Brothers Pizza Tossers.
Yeah. But hey, unlike the people who are about to participate in these sports, you just take her easy now.